Hi DIYers, this is Frank at Unguardedagain, and we're back in the Unguardedlab working on the 2GIG GC3 panel. Today we're going to be discussing the entry and exit delays on your 2GIG GC3. So entry and exit delays are mapped to sensors, generally entry-exit doors, whether it be a garage overhead door, entry doors to the home, like a front and back entry. These are basically periods in time that you have on the entry would map to the amount of time you have to come to the system and disarm it before the alarm is triggered. So the exit delay would be on the way out. So after you arm at the panel or on the app or on your key fob, this is the amount of time you have to physically leave the premise, open and close that door that's programmed to entry exit 1 or entry exit 2. So there's three questions that are used to program entry delay 1, entry delay 2, and then your exit delay. The exit delay is a global setting to basically is the amount of time you have on the way out on any zone programmed to either entry exit 1 or entry exit 2. I'll show you what that looks like on a zone at the end of the video, but for now, basically I'll just show you how to set these times. So we'll hit the 2GIG button on the top right. That'll bump you right into your installer toolbox. We'll enter 1561 and system configuration and then panel programming. Once that launches you in, we can come down. You'll see questions 4, 5, and 6, which is your exit delay, your entry delay 1, and entry delay 2. So these selections are set by the number of seconds. So you'll see the default, we have, go back up here, the default is 60 seconds on the exit delay, so that means you have 1 minute to leave your home by default. If you think you need more or less than that, you can adjust that here just by typing in, just hitting clear, and then typing in the number of seconds. Just a brief discussion around exit delays. The entry delays are the most important thing when it comes to lowering those and keeping those as low as possible. The entry delay would be the amount of time an intruder has to get into the home and potentially compromise the system before it sends out an alarm signal. The exit delay, on the other hand, is just the amount of time you have to leave. So it's very rare that there is a break-in or intrusion during that period. Generally, you're still getting in your car right outside the house during this period. With that said, if you're somebody that wants to minimize this time, you can bring it as far down as 45 seconds. That means you have 45 seconds to leave the house or business. It can go all the way up to 120 seconds, which is 2 minutes, and that would give you a little bit longer time. Maybe the keypad is located a little further from the door, or it may just take you some more time to get out of the house than the average user. So you could just hit this, bump this up to 120, and then go down to the next field here. You don't actually need to do anything to lock these changes in. You can simply just bump to the next field or back out. That's question 4 for exit delay, and that will again map to any zone programmed to entry 1 or entry 2. So as far as entry delay 1, this is generally your front door or main entry points to the home, your interior zone or your exterior zones, which are your primary entry points. Usually 30 seconds is recommended. If you have it right at the door and 15 seconds is something that would work, great. But on this panel for security measures, or for false alarm rather, as far as the amount of time you have to come in and disarm the panel, the lowest is 30 seconds. So I usually recommend keeping it there. That is the default, so you shouldn't have to adjust this. If you need a longer period of time, if the panel is further away from the entry point, you can bump that up to anywhere up to 240 seconds, which is 4 minutes. On entry exit 1, we can usually keep that at 30 for any doors that are close to the keypad, and then you can create, you can map other zones to entry exit 2, which I'll show you in a moment here, such as maybe a garage overhead door. Maybe you have a tilt sensor in your garage overhead door. It's going to take you a few minutes to get in into the house to disarm on that one. So you can come down to entry delay 2, which is question 6. And let's say we want to bump this all the way to 4 minutes. We can put 240 in there. And then that means you have 2 minutes to come in and disarm the panel after the garage door is open, so you can get out of your vehicle, pull the grocery bags into the car or into the house, and have 4 minutes to do that. If you have a garage entry point to the house, and that's on entry exit 1, you'll still only have the 30 seconds when you open that door, so the house will still be secure. So don't worry about the 4 minutes unless you have valuables in the garage, which you want to be cognizant of that as well. With all that said, we now have our 30-second entry 1, 4-minute entry 2, and then our global exit delay for both of those at 2 minutes. So at this point, we can back out, hit return to system config. We'll then hit the back key. When we hit that back key, that's when it'll ask for us to confirm changes. This is where we always want to save, assuming that we made the proper changes. The panel will take a second to restart the security process. Should say ready to arm. And then that's how you would reset your entry and exit delays. Just to show you quickly on zone programming, we'll go back in. I just want to show you these entry and exit delay zone types. So we'll go into system config. Let's set up a wireless zone. I just want to show you here. On the right here, we have a few different things, but the type, the sensor type here, you can choose which basically response type you want. There's a few common types for doors, either entry exit 1, which again would mean that door has the entry period mapped to the entry exit 1, which we just set on question 5. Entry exit 2 would mean that it maps to entry delay 2 on question 6. Both of these will have the global exit delay, whatever you set that at on question 3. So if you set a wireless zone or a wired zone to this setting, then it'll map to that delay period that we just programmed. So we can just back out here, back out again. We're actually going to discard these changes as we didn't do any programming there. But that is how you would adjust your entry and exit delay periods on the 2GIG GC3. If you have any other questions regarding programming on the GC3, you can email us at support@alarmgrid.com, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel.